Cadmium Sound presents.
Hey guys, I'm Cadmium. I'm going to show you guys how to make a badass cadmium kick. Let's go! Alright guys, I'm going to show you guys how I made my kick in my song Melody. For those of you who have not heard the song, here is a little short clip of it.
If we could be a symphony, then we would be a perfect harmony.
Alright, and there's the basic idea of it. So first things first, you have to find your kicks that you want. Obviously something that is similar to maybe your idol or somebody you admire. For me, that's obviously a mix between Chainsmokers, Martin Garrix, or Millennium. He's one of my favorites for sure, and I love his kicks. So I had to find something that was similar. So I went on the interweb, and I found this pack called Panther Drums. They've got some pretty close stuff here. They Chainsmoker stuff. And yeah, so went online and found that. So next thing you want to do is learn how to layer them and construct them so that way they sound good in a mix. So basically, if you're going to have just one drum, it could probably work, but it sounds better when you stack them and make them bigger. So like here's an idea. Here's what one kick by itself would sound like with no EQ, no pressure, no pushing, just a regular kick thrown in the mix. Sounds a little boring and a little muddy too. So what you want to do is kind of make yourself some layers. So I'm going to start with the main kick, which is this one. So I have here, I've thrown the loop portion into my sampler here. I don't know why. There's the loop and then the regular kick. They sound almost exactly the same, if not exactly the same. But I went with the loop, so get over it. Alright, so basically, first thing you want to do is obviously do an EQ on your kick. So let's see how this sounds without any EQ. It's a little big. It's got a lot of sub to it. Not something you completely want in a mix or on a kick. Maybe on a deep house, progressive house, but this is future bass, so you kind of don't want that much of a low end from the kick because most of it comes from the actual bass line. So let's take a look at what I got here. So I added some highs here, and you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and make a new one here, kind of show you the difference here. So in this area right here, you want to kind of just cut out everything around, let's say 45 to 50 hertz per se. I think I got mine here cutting out around 60-ish and below. And that's probably a good area right here, 45 to 50. So now we still got the kick, we still got the thud, but now I think there might be a little bit too much going on here at around 80 hertz. So if I go ahead and enhance that a little bit, you can hear that almost hollow poopy sound. So we don't want that poopy sound. So basically we're just going to go ahead and cut out a little bit of that poop. And let's see, what do we got here? What does this sound like here? Let's get a solo. So here's a nice thud. and it's almost clean. So a little bit of enhancement on that. And let's go ahead and give it another listen. I'd say right about here, there's this not so great sounding knock sound. It sounds like almost a wood sound. I'd probably cut that out just a bit. And then, of course, let's just take a listen here to our highs. So I'd say right about here is a good spot to kind of raise it up. And then, of course, if you want, cut out your highs here. It's not much going on in there anyways. So basically, here is a remodel of what I did before, after. Still got kind of a big thump to it. And it sounds a little bit cleaner now. And we got a little bit of that high end coming out now. So the next thing I do is I kind of remake the kick. But now I want to make the clicking portion of it. I want to make it sound more on top of the mix. Something that you can hear even in mono through like your cell phone or the radio or whatever. So it's practically the same kick, but I like to use waves, and it seems like I've kind of got this thing peaking here a little bit. Honestly, it's not that big of a deal. You can't really hear anything bad coming from it. There's no static. Don't take my word for it. It may be bad. I don't know. But I honestly don't hear anything wrong with it. So I just hear a lot of hard compression. I like to put my attack pretty quick, so it instantly gets that click. When you make a faster attack, it catches that click real quick. And I think the CLA 76 is great for these type of clicks, drums, things like that. They're just awesome. I love waves. And then pretty much I went over here and just cut out anything that thumps. I wouldn't say anything that thumps precisely, but it kind of gives a little bit of a higher thump. So instead of having this thump, we just got ourselves this thump. It's a good click. And again, we just raise the high end a little bit just to kind of bring out that clarity in it. So I got my kick sides here. So basically, I made these quick kick sides to kind of give a little more space for the kick, kind of give it almost like a reverb sound, but in the high ends. You don't want to really put reverb on the low end. It's going to sound ridiculous, and muddy. But you want to have it sound kind of big in a way. So how you do that is you kind of you make these sides. A better way to say this, but basically this is what it sounds like. Not too much thud to it. I got a little bit of 60, 65 going on here. Probably don't even need that really. But it kind of gives a little bit of that hollow sound to it. Something that you can kind of hear in the mix, but not really. So, this is kind of what it sounds like without it. And this is, looks like a Cashmere Stomp. And Cashmere's got some pretty cool stuff. I don't really use it too often, but in this case I did. And so basically I was like, okay, that could be a cool sound with my kick. And sure enough, it did. Add a little bit of reverb to it. Not too much wetness to it. Kind of make it sound just a little wide, And then we got ourselves the higher end of that kick, that stomp. I wanted a little clappy sound on the side. It sounds kind of like it's got a lot of width to it already. It just kind of brings the whole kick up front with a little clappy sound to it. So together, with the reverb, Now this one I wanted to add a little bit more wetness to it, just kind of bring it back just a little bit. The cool thing about reverb is that you can set things more forward and more aft in your mix. So, you know, obviously you turn it down, it's going to come more forward. And the more you put to it, the farther away it's going to sound. Basically with this, I just cut out everything in the low end, just kind of make it sound like a little bit of a clap. And then all together, you get the melody kick. All right, and I hope this was helpful for you guys. I'll see you on the flip side. All right, guys, I hope I lived up to what you expected when it came to that tutorial. Making kicks can be pretty difficult. I know, trying to get them to punch through the mix, getting the sub right, getting the top notes right. I know, it can be kind of tricky. But I hope that it was useful enough to teach you how to do it. All right, so I got a guy who asked a question. He wants to know what kind of headphones I use. I use the DT770 Pro in stores near you. Alright guys, and if you have any questions, make sure to leave your comments in the comment section below. And I'd like to say, have a great day.